Hello and welcome to my second recording of Legendary Kingdom walkthrough. As you can see, it's a big world. This episode is going to try and keep it to half hour roughly, so it's easy to follow along if you're following the story. I'm going to actually explain about the companion app, which I didn't really follow it that well in the first episode because I thought it weren't quite working. That was just me not following it correctly. So as I say, the address you can see at the top here, lkc.berlyn.me. That's the address. I'll link it down in the description, and that's for you guys as well, so it's easy to find. As I say, in here it's an officially endorsed product by Spider-Man Games, and you can easily support the developer by clicking on the button down here at the bottom. So going into settings, as I said before, you got English. I presume there might be the other languages later on, but at the moment it's just English. The background image, that's this one out here. That's Crown Tower and Valley of Bones. I've just changed it to Valley of Bones because that's the book we're currently working through. Dice rolling is enabled. I had a little play with it off camera, and I think I've got the gist of what basically we need to do. And then of course delete out deletes all the save files and everything, so you have to start all over again. So we're going to go back to the main menu because I'm not going to delete what we did. Continue game, we'll just continue where we were. And new game, basically will obviously start a new game, and load game will load basically what this is called. Now this is a different name to the one I did on the first one. That's because I set it up to a random name and I basically put all the information in. I'm going to load the game up. As you can see, this was last saved on the 24th of the 6th this year at 12:48 PM. So it's easy to keep track of the date and time. The book I'm currently working on is Valley of Bones. I'm on page 75. I've actually got 628 silver, and I've managed to come across 5 codes. The characters and notes are over here. So just simple toggle between them. What I've done in notes is I basically put like the location name at the top, then everything in that below that is basically all the information I've picked up. And as you can see, I've got a note here saying I need to spend 40 silver to heal 8 health points up for the team. So that basically means I'll go down to 588 silver. I'll do that a bit later on, so you can actually see me doing it. Also, I found a note in a book saying about Lembreth jungles where there's a certain flower which the snakes and the snake men don't like. Now, to get the gap between these two paragraphs, basically you go onto this line here and then you press space twice. If you do space once, it doesn't work. And then of course, yeah, that's it. As I say, if I go in, so I go space, enter, bit of text, save. My apologies, it did work. I must have updated it since I last used it. So I'm just going to delete that back out because I don't need the extra text. So characters. So let's click on the first one. These are the 4 I've got. As I say, I've got Akira of Chalice, Amelia Pastane, Brash and Tasha. when I first played through the game, I basically lost too many party members. I left with one party member, and it was a dead end because I couldn't split the party where I had to split the party. So I had to restart the entire game. So after that, I basically make save points as I go along. Best place to do save points is when you're entering or leaving a city, or place of interest. That way, if you go out and you totally get a party wipe, then you can just reset back to where you were. So I'll go into Kiro first. As you can see, I've equipped some weapons. The weapon equipment is very simple. So I'll click on add, get a list of equipment here, and say I wanted to put a sword in. I'll just type in SW, and these are all the swords that will come up. So say like this magical short sword I wanted, I click on add, and it's added to here. But you may notice it's not green. It's like going to the background colour, right, transparent. To actually get it to be equipped, as if like I'm using it, I left click on it, click on equipped item, and because I can only have like one weapon, you'll see the scimitar has basically been unequipped. Now if I wanted to take it off, I click on it again, unequipped, and it takes it off. So I'm going to put the steel scimitar back on so I don't forget. But before I do, you'll notice it says I can send it to the default or any of the other 3 characters, which is a nice way of swapping the weapons around if you need to. Default, there is a spell which for that, which I'll explain to you when I get to the character. But because I don't want to have a magical short sword because I haven't found it in the story yet, I'm just going to discard it because I don't want to cheat or anything. So this save here is actually my own playthrough, and every dice was a true roll. Backstory, so that's a bit of backstory of the character and notes for individual character. So I'll go back on equipment. See, fighting, I can modify the skill. On any of these skills I can modify, or it gets changed by equipment. Say like the warm cloak, it says +1 survival. So down here I've got survival 5 +1. My normal survival skill is a 5. So I unequip that, you'll see the +1 disappears. So I equipped it, and say I had to do a survival check for him, I just click on these dice here, and it brings up the dice roll, which I'll explain a bit more when I actually come to it. Actually, I can do it now. I'm just picked a random page in a book. As you can see, it says how many dice to roll. It says 6 because I got 5 + 1, which is 6 dice. So that's how many dice I actually roll. Optional, what's the difficulty class? Which is a DC. Well, if you go to the start of the book and basically go through, it will actually explain all the little ins and odds and outs of what you have to do. And basically what it says for the skill check is basically says you need to basically you get a team check or individual check. When it says skill and DC like survival 5+, that means you need to get 5 dices higher. So difficulty class, let's do 4 to make it a bit easy. So how many successes I'll need to pass the thing. I think that one there is going to be 4 again, but I'll double check. So I'm just going to roll the dice. So I got 3 successes and 3 failures. So if I go roll again, and I put 4 in here, because it's 4 difficulty, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 green, and it says I've passed this check. Now if I had to get, say, 5 difficulty, I failed. So if I take that out, so it's just got the 4 in the middle here, it doesn't actually say whether you've passed or failed. It's not much difference because you can easily count up whether you got, 2 successes, 4 fails at the top here. But if you just add the 4 in, same as what you got here, and roll the dice, it's a nice simple you've passed or you failed correspondingly. And that is basically how the difficulty check and the dice rolling works. And you can do on any of these, or you basically can go to the main thing here, and you've got a little dice roller down the bottom here, and you can basically, if it's like a team one, you can basically combine them in here. Actually no, that's for single. Team skill check here is you basically check in, then you select which 2 people, then you do the dice roll, and then it'd be, say, like the same. So it's pretty easy to do. So this team skill check is when you've got more than 1 person to do the roll, and dice roll at the bottom here is when you've got individual people to do the roll. Now the house, I can update all the characters at once or remove all at once, but as you see, they're all different apart from Tasha and Akira. But I'm not going to do it all at once. Instead, I'm going to go into individual one, click on here, and then basically I'm not updating the maximum health because I'm not got anything saying to update their health. I have had it in the past, but not at the moment. So if I wanted to remove, say like he's been injured, I need to take 2 points off, 2 in there, hit remove, and it drops down to here. Now same thing if I want to add it, so I've got 3 to bring it up to full health. That's how easy it is to change the health of the people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly go in and bring all the health bars up to full, and I'm going to amend the money because, as you see in the notes, I already worked out how much I need to spend. So I'm just going to go in, do 1 health to Amelia. Brash basically took a beating, so I'm going to add another 4 to him. And Tasha, just a simple 1. Now basically the reason I'm basically adding the health up is because I came out through all the underground last time. I'm in the city now, but where the arena is, there's actually a inn, and you can actually spend X amount of silver, say 40 silver, to heal up 8 health points. 40 silver to heal up 1 health point. Now altogether I needed 8 health points to be healed up the team, so I got 428, take the 40 equals 588. It does actually say in the book, I believe it's let's go to page 75 because that's where I am. The inn is 172. Best to get it right and that, so I'm not giving something on. So yeah, the actual I'll actually amend that so it's easy to read. So I need to spend 5 silver to heal up 1 health point. for each if I just drop that down there a second. Now just go save. See there, basically I've got the 588 silver here, and I just basically went to the end, enter, saved it, and it's still on the same line. So if I went to the end of the previous line for space, save, it's still on the same line. But if I put a second space in and then save it, it's on the next line. So that's where I got 2 spaces from earlier. So yeah, at the end of each line, if you want to put your next text on the line below it, you have to put 2 spaces at the end of each line. So because I've done the house, like I say, that's for adding or removing wholesale across the whole team, which I don't need to do. Next one is money. Well, I basically currently have 628, and as I said earlier, I had 40 to spend, so it should come down to 588 silver. I actually worked it out on the calculator earlier, but the fact that it does it itself, you know, add in, say, add an extra 10, you know, and then say take 10 to put it back to normal. That is so much easier. So because of that, I'm just going to come in and take that note for the 588 silver out, because I don't need it now. As I say, that the money thing there, easy to do. The vault, this is where basically you had the equipment where you can store it. Amelia's got the vault because it's a spell, where you can actually access it remotely. I'm not sure how else you can get into it. Yeah, in the actual the book, it says the vault's a magical storehouse where your party can keep items of equipment and silver coin that they want to keep safe, but not on their person. There are many ways to access the vault. The easiest way is with the magic cabinet spell, which grants you immediate access at the time you're choosing. Some buildings might also grant you access to this vault as well, no matter where you are. No matter where you are, you can gain access to the vault from the items stored, and it will be the same. So I can put access the vault in one location, one city, go to another city, access the vault, and I can get that item state back out. So I'll probably still got 588 money, and it's always nice to basically save some money. Let's put 450 silver into the vault. So there you go, I've got 450 silver stored in the vault, and the silver's gone down to 138. So yeah, the codes, pretty much these are the codes I've picked up. If you only want to see the ones picked up, you click on the photo recorded and it just shows you the unique codes. So it's easy at a glance. Have I got this code? No, I haven't got that one. Or yes, I have. Then untick it to put them on. To select the code, it's as simple as just clicking on it, and that's it. And again, click on it to take it off. Very simple to do. But as I say, that's down the side here. But I haven't forgotten. I've got the other characters to do. I'll come back to Amelia because she's my spellcaster at the end, so I can go through the spells, particularly for her. So, say Brash, set the same as with Aikido. The only difference is, so these two have got no armour. That's mainly because they haven't picked up any armour for them. He's got an iron short sword equipped. He's got his backstory, and I've got no notes for him. Now, notes you can add to individual other characters, or you basically, basically put them on the main bit here. Tasha, same thing. She's got a bit more equipment. So her backstory and the notes. Basically, when I was escaping from the arena, she was the one I used to get the gatehouse weapon key, and she also gained a +1 stealth bonus and that. So I basically added it into the thing. So that's how I know, because the stealth was 4, then I got a +1 I picked up for doing something. I can't quite remember what. It says, yeah, add 1 to stealth. So that's what I did. Then of course you got Amelia. Now the main difference for Amelia is this little tab here saying spells. As I say, at the moment she's got a short sword and a shield. I've got nothing in the notes, and it's got a backstory here. The spells, these are all different spells. Same thing. You cast a spell, you remove a spell. Now, I'm basically going to say casted a magic cabinet. So I'll click on that, cast a spell, and it's gone. That basically means it's been activated. If I remember right, you need to recharge them, which I think is done in the inns. So that's 172 for the inn. Let me just double check. Yeah. So yeah, basically at the inns, as I not only can you spend a 5 silver coin for each party member recovers 1 health point, spellcasters can also spend silver here to recharge their spells. I'm not sure exactly how much I need to spend to recharge a spell. Oh, it's right in front of me. To recharge it, it's this particular one. It's 100 silver. So I'm going to kind of cheat and take the silver out. So basically, what I've got. So I'm charging the spell. So 100 silver. Go back to the game. Go to the money. So it's 100 silver. Take out because I've just spent it to recharge my spell. So yes, I've only held in 38 silver, but I've got 450 silver in the vault. So if anything happens to me, say I get arrested again and thrown back into the arena, etc., I believe I'll have to wait to see what happens and that. But I do believe that anything in the vault stays in the vault, so that's going to be nice and secure. And yeah, so that basically finished the administration section of this book. Well, this session, I should say. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the explanation of how the companion app works. As I say, I'll basically add in the link to the companion on the actual description, and that one I upload it in a few minutes. But yeah, the actual book you'll have to actually buy it from Spider-Man Games website, which, as I say, I'll just link it into for you. Spider-Man Games, spidermangames.com. Okay, it's Legendary Kingdoms. It's in this bit here in the store, and say you can either download the free sample, which is just the first chapter, basically everything I did up to and including everything in part 1 of this walkthrough, you can do in this sample. The only thing you can't do is leave that sissy to go further afield. To do that, you need to either buy the PDF copy or the print copy. There's 3 colour sheets here if you need it, although with the new companion app you'll probably be okay using that. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy it. See you around.